is here to win for Martin Forseni wins the Mexican C-Prix. Churlo just a tenth behind. Gwetzny boy wins the Lithuanian. Totsod wins the German C-Prix. Fabio wins the Turkish C-Prix. What an amazing.
4-second lead is gonna cruise the Singapore.
Skep wins once more this season. Does win the Singapore C-Prix here.
Acclamation wins the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Hello and welcome to Challenger Virtual Season 7, Round 10, the season finale. Let's take a look one more time at our Drivers and Constructors Championship entering this round. Bartlord leads the Drivers Championship currently on 77 points. Lira in second with 74, just beating Guzman out on tiebreak. Fabio in fourth with 72, his teammate Iceberg right behind with 71. Faz Jusser out of the six, still mathematical contention for the title, is the least likely to get it. He is 24 points off the leader, who is also his teammate. So he would have to win, and everyone ahead of him score not many points, little to no points, in order for Faz Jusser to win that Drivers' Championship. That might be very difficult to happen. So it will be mainly between those top five, I believe. It's a very close margins. It is very close margins between all five of them. So it might depend on if one of them ends up winning this tokenless finale. That will of course be enough to just outright clinch them the driver's title. Moving on to the constructors, we have a fight for the title and a fight to stay up. A fight for the title between mainly Nasaluna and Metessa. Metessa are 13 points behind them. It is a likely but is a difficult task for Metessa. Both of those teams have been performing really solidly tokenless and while spending tokens. It's very hard to tell if one of them will be able to strongly beat out the other, but Nasalun are definitely in a better position here. Dan and Flo also only 9 points behind Metessa, are realistically also able to challenge for the top two, which both first and second will promote to UV next season. As it looks most likely that Flying V Racing and Fox Oversteer Experience will both dissolve in UV. They will both disband, so there is 2 promotion spots up for grabs in Challenger Virtual. Pounder Racing are also mathematically in contention for the title, only 35 points off. Hurricane are mathematically in contention for second, but both Pounder's title aspirations and Hurricane's promotion aspirations are would require a miracle to happen. On the bottom half, we've got Pounder, Russell British Racing and Coles Forza, all very close for sixth, within 4 points of each other, so that'll be a very interesting battle between those 3 teams. But also they will have to watch out for Sloth Racing and Matimar Racing. Currently in a relegation zone, they are 14 and 21 points off safety respectively, so it is quite something that would require a proper miracle run in this tokenless finale in order to stay up. And it would also mean the relegation of one of those teams fighting for sixth, which would be equally surprising. I think Russell British Racing and Coles Forza both with very strong cars. Nuri also with an underrated car. Sloth Racing and Matimar Racing, will they have what it takes to perform an absolute shock performance? We'll have to see. But let's get into the qualifying now without further ado. Here we go, 3 minutes around Interlagos. Here we go. First lap, of course, will be more of an out lap for the drivers. We can take a look at the upgrades in the meantime. Here they are. It's an Excel and a grip 4-pounder, same for Matessa, a grip upgrade for Russell Bresch, a double Excel upgrade for Carlos Forza, a triple turbo for NASA Luna. It is a speed upgrade for Hurricane Racing, a grip and turbo for Nuri Racing, a grip and double turbo for Sloth Racing, and finally an Excel and grip for Matimar Racing. A lot of upgrades, only Dan and Flo unable to get upgrades out of all of the teams. So yeah, we will have to see how this affects this race. Highest speed goes to Hurricane and Matimar Racing. Oh, we've got the first flying lap. Who will go on pole? It is Matimar, currently on provisional pole. The Matimar Racing drivers doing very well, but so are Carlos Forza, which means the next team at risk would be Nuri or Russell Bresch Racing, who are currently Nuri, are beating them out on tiebreak. Back to the upgrades. Highest speed Hurricane or Matimar Racing. Highest Excel is Matessa. Highest grip is Matessa, Carlos Forza and Down Flow. Highest turbo is Pounder and Russell Bresch Racing. That's the way it looks right now. As for drivers' title contenders, we've got Fabio currently in 3rd, Barlord in 5th, Fast Juicer in 11th, Guzman in 12th, Iceberg in 14th, and Lyra down in 18th. Matimar and Arcania currently 1st and 4th. Will we see someone else take provisional pole here? It is Barlord, who goes on provisional pole, 600ths faster than Matimar. Like I said, that winning the race pretty much will clinch you the driver's title here, and Butterlord is already helping his case by getting an extra point if he manages to keep provisional pole, and he is going fast again, faster than Texman, but he does not improve, and we've got half a minute left. It's Fabio onto provisional pole. We're gonna have a fight for the ages here between two drivers' title contenders, 2 contenders in the constructors as well. Fast Juicer up to 9th. Iceberg, however, still down in 15th, is not very good for NASA Luna. They want both drivers in that top 10. Guzman is up to 3rd, so another drivers' title challenger. Texman looks to be going faster. That's the final lap. It will be Fabio on pole position, and he gains an extra point on the lead of Bartlord here. This will be a close fight. Here are the full qualifying results. We can put up the upgrades. Of course, tokenless finale. There is no tokens available to spend in this finale. We've got the top 3 slots all taken by drivers' title contenders of 3 different teams. Those teams all also fighting for promotion, also fighting for the title, and that is Fabio in pole position with an amazing time of 29.18. Bartlord starts from the front row. He set the time of 29.42 before Guzman, who starts from 3rd. Matimar starts from 4th in a last-ditch effort to save Matimar Racing from relegation. Remember, they are 21 points behind Carlos Forza and 25 behind Nuri and Russell British. Ethan starts from 5th for Pounder, but Lyra, title contender, not to be seen in the top 10. Texman first starts from 6th for Carlos Forza. They are looking strong to stay up and not get knocked down here. Arcaniac for Matimar Racing starts from 7th. It's a great qualifying for Matimar Racing team. Dumashna from Carlos Forza makes them the 2nd team to get both drivers in the top 10 in this qualifying, and the 3rd team is Fast Juicer's Matessa, as he will start from 9th. He is also a title contender, but like I said before, a much more far off one than the ones in this top 3, for example. However, if he climbs up positions, this might be very important for Matessa's title hopes. Nandi will start from 10th position. Nuri looking fine for now, and with no Russell British racing car in the top 10, looking very fine. As I think it's likely that even with Cole Stvorz and Matimar Racing gaining on Nuri and Russell British, there's still Slough Racing and of course Nuri are beating Russell British on tiebreak, but it's very uncharted territory down there for the relegation battle. Charge GT for Slough Racing starts 11th, so they are not too far off points. Mr. 06 for Hurricane starts from 12th. Hurricane not really fighting for anything realistically. Julo starts from 13th, great for Nuri. 14th starts for Zenny. And also a good Slough Racing qualifying. Stefano for Danube only starts down in 15th, and Iceberg, even more surprisingly, starts from 16th for Nasa Luna. He will have to climb up those ranks. Last race in Daytona, he climbed from 16th to 12th in the end, but he was in a fight for points, and every point will definitely matter for him, so he does want to get a good start for sure. Ruski starts from 17th. It's not looking good for Russell British Racing. They will hope that the teams currently in a relegation zone will not get enough points to catch up to them, and it might be likely that Matimar Racing, despite their good performance in this quali, will just simply not get enough points. Guetzli starts 18th. Lira, title contender, starts only from 19th position, and that's pretty much, I feel like that will pretty much count them out of the fight. And G4 starts from the final spot on the grid. Russell British Racing definitely with the worst qualifying here, which is honestly surprising. They've got good Excel, good turbo, good speed. Is that grip really that important in qualifying? But we've got 3 contenders starting from the first 3 spots of 3 different teams. That will be quite something to look at. 37 laps away us here at Interlagos for the Brazilian C-Prix. Here we go. Here it is, and Fabio starts on the hard tires, and we got 3 drivers starting on the soft spot. Barlord gets forced off there. Matimar up into 3rd. Guzman dropping like a brick early on. We've got Arcaniac and Faz Juicer fighting there for the final points position. Arcaniac out of the points already. We got Ethan getting up there. Nandi, Mr. 06 fighting Fast Juicer for the final spot. It's still Fabio in the race lead. Barlord and Matimar on way better tires need to get past him quick, but they're just stuck on his back. There it is, Barlord into the lead of the race, but Fabio still won't quit on those hard tires. He is the main challenger for the race win here if he can keep up with all of those drivers, because they're all on the softs. It's amazing the pace of that Nasa Luna right now. Iceberg, however, still down in 17th position at the current moment. We'll definitely hope to get higher up. Fast Juicer also only down in 11th, gets past Freseni for 10th. Needs to gain points here for Matessa. Look at the boost, and he's nearly in 7th. That is quite something. Fabio is still relatively close to Barlord and Guzman. He is actually catching on Guzman. Goes down the inside, has to relent. Matimar not too far behind them. Barlord trying to run away from them, is relatively succeeding. Fabio deploys some boost round the outside of Guzman. He's through into 2nd position on hard tires. Amazing. Fabio really seeking that Challenger Virtuals driver title, but here comes Guzman down the inside. Fabio, however, still keeps 2nd. Guzman is not willing to give up just yet. They're both catching Barlord rapidly here, who has been struggling for the past laps, and Fabio is right on the back of him, makes a huge error, and Guzman is right down the inside of him again, and that was very, very time consuming. 1 second relatively lost, and now Matimar is past him and Fabio has dropped to 4th position. Mr. 06 is up into 5th, Andy up into 6th, Ethan in 7th, the two callers Forza 8th and 9th, Charge T in 10th, and Fast Juicer in 11th. Matimar currently gaining 15 points to keep his team up. That will not be enough, and Arcaniac is out of the points. Iceberg already up to 12. You can see them there right behind Fast Juicer. That might just decide everything, but also Bartlord needs to win this race for Matessa's chances to remain in the ballpark of beating NASA, Luna, and Guzziman is not willing to let that happen. Fabio is still keeping up relatively well on those hard tires. He is still very close to the podium positions, even if he has lost in terms of on-track position. He is close in terms of time. Bartlord, a lot of drivers you can see there making a mistake on that turn too, going into the grass a bit deeply, maybe trying to go slower. Fabio is up into 3rd position. He's looking for another challenge as the soft tires have started to degrade. Soft tire runners will have to pit very soon. Barlord on a lot of boost, and he's decided to deploy it. He's into the pits. Guzziman stays out. Fabio very close behind him here. Guzziman goes wide, however does slow down Fabio, who hits the back of a Matimar, is also into the pits. Mr. 06 is into the pits as well. Barlord comes out in this huge pack. He's down in 6th position on this undercut, but he does start making up positions here, struggling a bit with Ethan, with Dumashna. There's his teammate Fast Juicer, who's up into 8th position. Iceberg still struggling in 12th. What about Pounder? Well, Stefano is down in 18th, but Guzziman is now into the pits. Fabio is out in a race lead. Nandi is out in 2nd. Charge T and Barlord is already up into 4th and looking to get past Charge T and past Nandi. The undercut might prove very effective to him. Guzziman deploying the same strategy as Barlord onto a 2nd set of softs. Fast Juicer now has pitted onto hard tires, is down into 14th position. Iceberg, who started on hards, is still up in 10th. It is now up in 10th thanks to them. Barlord is now up into 2nd already, but he has 6 seconds to catch Fabio up on. Fabio surely will be pitting eventually. Hard tires starting to fade, and he is going very slow. Actually, might have made a mistake there for the hairpin section. I don't think so. I doubt it. He's only lost about a second or so. He's already into the pits, looking to cover off the time gain. Barlord can get on him, but Barlord still gets enough to go out into the race lead, and those softs are relatively fresh. Fabio comes out down in 5th position. Matimar and Guzziman trying to fight for 2nd, but Chargy T on the worn hards slows down Guzziman there a bit, and is now slowing down Fabio a bit, who has already caught up to them. Barlord doesn't have too much of a gap over Matimar and Guzziman, only 2 to 3 seconds. Looks like we've got Matimar 2nd out of Guzziman, then Fabio Charchi T up in 5th, but he will have to pit onto those hards probably at the end of this lap. Nandi currently in 6th. Fast Juicer promoted up to 7th after nearly everyone else has pitted. And this is looking like the best case scenario for Matessa at the current moment. Mr. 06 in 8th, Iceberg in 9th on worn hard tires, yet to pit, and he is fighting tooth and nail against Dumashna, of course, who's all out on the medium tires. But Iceberg looking to strike back, boost his way through. Oh my god, nearly forces Du into the pits. That is a very risky strategy, but Iceberg does pit onto another set of hard tires, which might take him all the way up to lap 24. Can he pull off a 2-stopper? That would be an insane, yet very impressive task if he were to be able to get into the points thanks to that 2-stopper. He's already shown that with the extension, and you've got Charge AT now finally petting as well, comes down in 9th position. Not enough for Sloth Racing, of course, with Freseni out in 20th now. Matimar currently in 4th, and Bartlord is already into the pits actually, and he's onto the hard tires, but he's overtaken by Fabio, by Guzzi, and by Hnandi. Matimar, however, also entered the pits now, and it's his teammate Faz Jisser who will come up right behind Bartlord here. Matimar also out onto hard tires. Will we see Guzziman pit soon for new fresh softs? I think so as well. Fabio reaping the benefits of starting on those hard tires and fighting to keep NASA Luna in first in constructors, and of course to fight for the driver's title as well. He's currently winning the race, so that is outright. Fabio is currently leading the Drivers' Championship. As for constructors, he's in first, that's 25 points, plus pole position is 26, while Bartlord and Fazjusser, 4th and 5th, are currently gaining 22 points. Guzziman and Hnandi petting promotes Bartlord, who sets the fastest lap of the race on hard tires, and it promotes him up to 2nd, and it promotes Fazjusser all the way up to 3rd. Will he stay there? His hard tires are starting to wear out now, so I imagine he will have to pit soon. There is a lot of drivers. He would drop potentially down to 9th, down to 10th. Once he pets, even lower. Iceberg currently still only down in 13th. Lyra has actually gained some positions. Up to 14th is respectable, but with Bartlord and Fabio fighting for the race win, with Guzziman fighting for a podium, it's too little too late, most likely. Bartlord slowly exits out of the hairpin section, the slow section, I don't know the corner names for Interlagos, but he's closing down on Fabio rapidly, who is now out on worn medium tires and will have to pit shortly. However, he still retains that overcut. Bartlord down the inside is through into the lead of the race and into both titles, as Fazjusser is up into 3rd. Fabio and Fazjusser, I think, will both pit relatively the same time. Fabio stays out. Will Fazjusser pit now? No, he also stays out. Matimar already catching up to him. Guzziman, however, has lost Matimar despite being on better tires. He's 2 seconds behind. He's just outshined by Bartlord and Fabio, who, oh my god, looked 3-lapped cars there for Fabio. That is, yeah. It's definitely going to slow you down, especially on worn medium tires. Will Fabio pit? He stays out another lap. Will he pit on lap 21? Because he is losing time to Bartlord here, who's ready to stay out for a relatively long time still on those hard tires. Those are quite fresh hard tires. Iceberg already up into 11th. His tires are starting to wear, but if he can take them 12 laps again, he can potentially do a 2-stopper. I would love to see the AI pull off a 2-stopper. Fazjusser still not in either. Will Fabio come in? Now Fabio comes in 6 seconds behind Bartlord. He finally pits for medium tires, and Fazjusser comes in from 5th. Ethan is also into the pits, and so is Arcaniac. So Fazjusser will come out in 7th position, which means 6 points for him, and 25 for Bartlord at the current moment means 31 to Fabio's 12 and Iceberg's 2. That is 31 to 14 at the current moment, which is 17 points gained by Metesa, which would be enough. 16, because of course Fabio did get the pole position point. 16. So they would win the constructors as it stands by only 3 points. Barlord struggling with Julo, but there are clouds coming soon. Rain could change the whole race here. Barlord, however, 7 seconds ahead on a tokenless race. That is just... Guzziman is into the pits now. Fabio through into second position. And CharGT and Nandi are into the pits. That promotes Fast Juicer up to 5th position, not too far behind. Guzziman did get the undercut done. This is now 35 points for Matessa, and with Iceberg pitting, it is 19 for 35 points for Matessa and 19 for Nasaluna. That is 16 points gained still. Exactly the same. Of course, Barlord currently in the lead of the race means that he would win the driver's title. However, it looks like he will have to pit shortly, and Fabio is chasing him down on fresh hard tires. Matimar will have to pit soon. Guzziman and Fast Juicer will not, which means Fast Juicer will get promoted up to 4th potentially. Matimar still not into the pits. Barlord now getting slowed down by Iceberg. Nasaluna's strategy, try and help Fabio win that race, because it would be helpful. It would be a driver's title for Fabio, of course, and it would also help with the constructors. I think it would help Nasaluna gain back a lot of points, maybe even get them back into 1st place. It would be 25 to Matessa's, it would be 18 and 10, 28, so Matessa would only gain 3 points. Fabio winning is a very, very crucial part of the task here. Will his hearts, will they stay for the whole... I think he'll still have to pit one more time. And Barlord, of course, will, but I think Barlord will be quite fine here. He's into the pits now. What will he opt for? It is medium tires for 10 laps. Fabio is through. Into the lead of the race he goes. Barlord is coming out in 3rd position. I think Guzziman will overtake him. Yep, there he goes. Guzziman into 2nd and Barlord into 3rd. Fast Juicer is up into 4th, but he does have Ethan and Nandi, who are putting a lot of pressure on him. I think he will have to pit once more, and so will Ethan behind, and Nandi definitely on the soft tires. Barlord on very fresh tires, and Guzziman on quite fine soft tires are chasing down Fabio, and now Barlord goes for the move on Guzziman on the inside, doesn't quite get it, and Guzziman does boost his way to remain in P2, now lapping his teammate. Barlord also getting involved, getting slowed down through the hairpin section as they try and chase down Fabio, who's just barely staying with that gap of 2 seconds. Guzziman really looking to chase down now. Barlord on the outside of 2 lapped cars, but he does manage it, hits the back of Guzziman and overtakes Guzziman for 2nd place, chasing Fabio down now. Fabio and Guzziman both on worn tires here. Barlord on very, very fresh ones, and it'll all be about whether Fabio will be able on that final, I assume, soft stint catch up to Barlord, because Barlord is already on the back of him and sets the fastest lap of the race again on medium tires with 29.32. I think Guzziman took the fastest lap earlier on, but Barlord now has it back, and that's an extra point, and he's through into the lead of the race. Fast Juicer holding down to 4th, will have to pit soon. Fabio will have to pit. Barlord does not have to pit. This has been an incredibly dominant race it's turned out to be for Barlord, who went for 2 softs at the start, and despite Fabio staying very close to the pack on those hard tires, it seems Barlord has just outmastered that. This has been his 4th stint. He went on softs twice, then hard tires, and now on mediums to finish it off. What about Iceberg? Iceberg went on mediums, so I think he will have to pit one more time. He didn't pull off the 2-stopper, and I'm very, very disappointed about that. Will Fabio now enter the pits? I think so. Yep, he's into the pits. but he is already 3 seconds behind Butterlord. Has this race already been decided? It's looking likely unless Fabio can pull off a miracle on the softs here, or Guzman, who is only on 1 lap of older softs than Fabio. Fast Juicer is in, so is Ethan and Charge AT. Fast Juicer and Ethan are going to be fighting for 5th for a long time. Matimar, is he going to be able to take those mediums to the end? They are getting quite worn, but I think he will be able to just manage. Cloud's coming soon, but Fabio's still down in 3rd. It is currently 35 points on 15, that is 36 on 16, that is 20 points gain for Matessa here. And Fabio, the only thing he can do is try and minimize that as much as possible. But it depends on results as well. Fast Juicer is running away from Ethan, and Iceberg is down in 12, 5 seconds behind Dumashna. Butterlord, those mediums are already fairly worn. Guzman, however, 6.5 seconds behind. 5 seconds behind now, but that might be the hairpin section AI lines. Butterlord boosting his way out. Let's compare lap times actually. It is 5 seconds now. It is 32.05, and Guzman has hit 29.95. That is 2 seconds gained. Fabio only hit a 31.35. 7 tenths gained on Butterlord, but 4 tenths lost on Guzman. Is trying to chase him down now. Oh my, Guzman is chasing down Butterlord rapidly for his driver's title here. No, it's back to 4 seconds. It was 2 or 3 for a second there. 30.83 has gained a second on Butterlord. The mediums are fading away fast. Butterlord will have to avoid a mistake in the hairpin section here, as he's got a lot of lap traffic around him. Can see Guzman entering the hairpin section. It's down to 2 seconds, but it's too little too late. Butterlord is on the final straight, and with this victory, he claims both titles for Racing Auto Matessa. Guzman finishing in 2nd, Fabio in 3rd, Matimar in 4th position. Matimar in 4th is just not enough to keep Matimar racing up, but what a effort. Charge AT in 5th, Ethan in 6th, Fast Juicer in 7th means it is 32 points gained for Matessa to 15. That is just enough. That's 17 points, that is 4 points more, I think. Get the standings soon enough. Fast Juicer in 7th, Nandi in 8th, Texman in 1st, and Dumashna make it double points for Coles Forza. But in the end, it is still Sloth Racing and Matimar Racing that will relegate back to Journeyman Virtual after 1 season up in Challenger Virtual. Case, what a season. Look how many teams we had in this top 10. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different teams in the top 10. Only Matessa and Coles Forza managed double points here. But first, let's hear the national anthems for the winning driver and winning constructor. Starting with, of course, the Philippines national anthem for Butterlord, his 2nd race victory this season. big congratulations to Bartlord, and now we will hear the Polish national anthem, as Racing Auto Matesa is based in Poland. Now I'll be back very shortly with the final championship standings. So then, here are the final Drivers' Championship results, and it is indeed Bartlord, who is your challenger virtual Drivers' Champion, finally after previous seasons of hurt at Pappy Pops Racing. He found himself suddenly with a competitive car, and then he loses to his teammate Pappy in the next season, I believe it was. Actually, let me just get the results here. Season 2 of Challenger Virtual, he signs for Pappy Pops. It turns out Pappy Pops have a competitive car, and he loses out to his teammate Senor Pappy by just 5 points. Was it on the final round? Well, it wasn't on the final round. Was it in Singapore? In Singapore, he fell. Round 9 Singapore, he falls from pole position to finish only third with 4 tokens. His teammate Pappy out points. That means Bartlord stays only 5 points behind them, both with 3 race wins that season. And of course, easy constructors win for Pappy Pops that season, but Bartlord, deprived of his potential Challenger Virtuals Drivers title. Season 3 is a more memorable one. Bartlord had won Singapore, rising 9 positions from 10th. He switched over to IKEA BFZ. He could not join Pappy Pops in Ultimate Virtual, as of course he's a UV owner himself. Though, I mean, I don't think there was rules about that at that time during that season, but still. Going into the final round, he was 1.5 points ahead of Bluebell Boy. This was because I think he tied with Nom's car earlier. Bartlord tied for second with Noms, so they got half points. They got a second and third split between themselves. In any case, Bluebell Boy was 1.5 points behind Butter coming in. They qualified Butter 11th and Bluebell Boy 13th. Butter rose early on to 8th, but at the very end on a soft stint, Bluebell Boy just managed to beat him, took 7th and gained 2 points at the end, beating Butter by just half a point to the Drivers' Championship. If Butter hadn't tied with Nom's car that season, he would have taken it. That was season 3. Then we didn't have a season 4 because of Chinese investors. Season 5, Butter moved over to Matesa, where then really challenge for the driver's title, behind of course the Audis and the Pappy Pops. And season 6 came along, where it was an Audi versus Matesa fight, and once again Audi just ran wild, dominant. Matesa finished second, and now this season. After an incredible podium in Singapore, he rose to the lead of the Drivers' Championship by just 3 points over Fabio. Following tokenless points at Daytona, he's kept first, 3 points ahead of Leroy and Guzman, and now he's once again third round running in first, 11 points ahead of Guzzi in second. He's finally gotten his Drivers' Championship. Let's hear once more the Philippines national anthem. I think it's also fair to give a national anthem to Guzman and Fabio at 92 and 88 points. They have had an incredible season, both of them. Guzman managed to get up to second in the Drivers' Championship without winning a single race. So here is the Norwegian national anthem. Yeah, it was just an excuse, really, to listen to the Norwegian anthem since I didn't get to hear it, but let's hear the Portuguese national anthem for Fabio as well. congrats to the podium sitters of the Challenger Virtual Drivers Championship. And of course to everyone else who competed. The next 3 drivers after that are all British, so congrats to the United Kingdom. Also, Ethan rose up to 11th in the end in the Drivers' Championship. That's very good improvement of him. Will we see anyone get the dominance bonus from beating their teammate by 10 positions? With Ethan rising 5 positions, Lyra unfortunately won't get that bonus. But you can see here, Doom Mashnut in 7th with 51 points will get the bonus as he beat his teammate Texman, unfortunately by 13 positions. It's been a season to forget for Texman for the most part. Let's move over to constructors. I'm sure this is going to be the longest race video yet, and most of it isn't even the race. Onto the constructors, and of course Metesa just beat out Nasaluna with an incredible performance today in Interlagos, and mostly attributable to Bartlord winning the race. They win the championship by 3 points, but both of them will promote Dan and Flo in the end in third. Everyone else actually without change in position. Pounder finished 4th, Hurricane 5th, Nuri finished 6th, did gain 4 points, so they didn't just finish 6th on tiebreak. Russell British Racing and Colos Forza, 2 teams that have had rather strong cars throughout most of the season, and yet it just didn't work for them. Only 7th and 8th fighting to stay up is really shocking, and hopefully next season they will be able to bounce back. Sloth Racing and Matimar Racing, unfortunately, the season they've promoted is the season they gained a ton of points in this finale, but they just couldn't gain enough to beat Colos Forza or Russell British Racing to stay up. So they will be returning to their their respective. Actually, not their respective JV divisions. I mean, Matimar Racing will be returning to JV East. Sloth Racing will also be returning to JV East, as it is now based in Finland under Fresenius, previously based in Spain as Iniciación Roja under Kamikaze. So both of them will relegate to JV East, and with Metesa and Nasaluna both promoting because of Fox and FAR disbanding, we will see 4 teams promote. So top 2 of JV West and of JV East will promote, and as we already know the results, we know those will be Matzer and Brabham, 2 teams that both just missed out on winning the titles last season. And also second places will be HRT Lightning and Carpathians Peak, so the sister teams of Hurricane and Dan and Flo. That will be quite something. So once again we will hear the national anthem for Metesa and for Nasaluna as they both promoted, so I think that's fair. Here is Polish national anthem for Racing Auto Metesa. And the Belgian national anthem, which we've heard a lot this season. 4 race wins for them. It was more of a token plan that focused on getting those race wins, but in the end Let's just hear it. Congratulations to both teams for promoting to Ultimate Virtual, and we'll see you next time in Season 8 for very interesting Challenger Virtual Season. Dan and Flo, Pounder Racing, Hurricane, Nuri, Russellbresh and Cold Forza with us. Also Matzar, Brabham, HRT Lightning and Carpathian's Peak. Very interesting to see how that season will go. So see you then. And oh, actually, before we go, let me just I don't think I did show the bottom 10, and also you can take a look at the car class itself. Look at that. This is your final car class for the season. Russell British Racing will be taking 12 bonus points for the highest turbo. I think Matessa, actually let me just put up the upgrades. Matessa will be taking 12 bonus points to UV for the acceleration. They have the undisputed highest level of acceleration. Hurricane and Matimar Racing, despite relegating, will take 6 bonus points each for having the joint highest speed level. No, actually, Matimar Racing will take the full 12 because they managed level 5 first. That's how it works. I think that's how, or is it only when it reaches level 10? Let me just check. I'll be right back. Yep, it will be Matimar Racing, sorry, who will take the full 12 bonus for the speed. And for grip level 8, well, Matessa only got level 8 this round. It's between Coast Forza and Dan Flow. I have to, let's check, going back, which one of them had level 8 first. Looks like it was Coast Forza. Yep, Coast Forza first to level 8. So 12 bonus for Matimar Racing, Matessa, Coast Forza, and Russell British Racing for achieving the highest level in those departments. Of course, this will also have to be dished out in JV as well. That being said, thank you for watching, and see you next season.